This video was solely for educational purposes as part of our 2D animation assignment. A static image of Bender from the TV series Futurama has been taken from Google, as well as sound clips from the character. We have cut up the image to allow movement and interaction for this video. Therefore, the actions and movements of Bender are unofficial and of our own creation.
You're watching Futurama, the show that does not advocate the cool crime of robbery.
Hello. Today we will be going over the 12 basic principles of animation. First, we need to bring some life to this blank screen. So let us start with our first principle, solid drawing. We need something special. There we go, our very own bending unit. For this principle I had to sketch my character, then transform him into color while adding movement. This gives the illusion of three-dimensional life.
I am Bender. Please insert girder.
So let's make Bender do something.
Say what?
Bender, how would you like to rob a bank?
Bite my shiny metal. Where am I?
So let's talk about our next principle, staging. He'll be looking at the vault and the signs. We need to use long, medium or close-up shots, as well as different camera angles to tell a story and also draw the audience in. We do that with staging.
What?
Now Bender is going to rob this bank with this gun. We'll be looking at appeal now. Appeal is about creating animation and designing characters that the audience find engaging and entertaining. Bender's laugh accomplishes this, doesn't it, Bender? Notice how Bender is whistling. He is creating secondary action. Secondary action is used to give a scene more life and realism. These actions emphasize the main actor rather than take away focus from him. As for you, Bender, this building is completely surrounded. What we are seeing now is follow-through. Bender's arm keeps spinning even after he has let go of the gun. Although also known as overlapping, it is used to imitate real life, laws of physics and different rates of movement on the characters or even inanimate objects.
Well, I'm not going out without a fight.
Here's the principle of anticipation. This is used to prepare the audience of an action that is about to occur. Sometimes it can just be a character staring at an action off screen that is about to happen, but sometimes it is used to build up to an action. Next we'll look at slowing in and slowing out. This principle involves movement of objects or even body parts and how they need time to accelerate and slow down. More drawings and frames in the beginning or end of an animation create an action that looks more realistic. There are lesser frames in the middle of the animation too. Now let's look at timing. In old school animations, timing was all about how many drawings were used to convey an action. Nowadays we use how many frames are used per second in a piece of film. Object weight, laws of physics, and correct timing all attribute to the speed of the action on film.
Life is hilariously cruel.
Now we have Bender in this situation. We can explain the motion of squash and stretch, often thought as the most important principle. This method deals with adding weight and flexibility to items in a scene. It can be used with objects that a character can interact with, like Bender's ball. The volume of said item will not change. However, it is reallocated to give the squash and stretch look. These need to correspond correctly. Now we will be looking at pose to pose. This involves creating only a few frames with the intention of filling in the rest of the keyframes later, sometimes automatically if using computer software. Straight to action is the opposite approach, where you can create a more fluid illustration of movement, but has the drawback of having a hard time keeping proportions accurate.
Oh.
Bender will be fine. He's a robot after all. However, this gives us a fine look into exaggeration. What does this mean? Well, exaggeration is merely a tool to either show more realism or to be used in an extreme form to liven up a scene. In this case, we have used the latter. Exaggeration is used in the extreme case to add improbable, sometimes impossible, effects, sometimes for comedic value. In this case, Bender's arm coming off is an exaggeration, because it is not the norm for someone's arm to come off. Our last principle is that of the arcs. In the real world, objects that are thrown follow an arced trajectory because of the things like gravity. However, other things like limbs also move in an arc-like motion. The only time this is void is when the object typically moves in a straight line. The speed at which the object travels means the arc will be flatter, but slower moving objects means a larger arc.